Hello guys! Welcome back to another YouTube video. Today's video we are talking about 6 or 7 things that every girl should have in their tiny New York City apartment. And if you are new to my channel, or if this is the first time you're finding this, I live in New York City and I have a studio apartment in SOHO. So yeah, I live in a tiny little studio and I've lived in this apartment since last August or end of July. And prior to that I lived in Brooklyn and had a little bit more space. And so, but I've lived in New York for the last 5+ years. So I've definitely gained a lot of knowledge on tiny New York City apartment hacks and just things that will make your life easier when living in a tiny apartment, whether it's a studio, a 1-bedroom. Regardless, the apartments are tiny in New York, or a lot of cities for that matter. You guys already know it's like you definitely give up a lot for the location, but it's definitely doable. And yeah, so there's some things that I have found that have made my life so much easier over the last couple of years living in an apartment, that have been complete essentials living in a small apartment. And so I thought that since I talk so much on my channel about life in New York City and apartments in New York and like living and working a full-time job and managing everything, that this would be a really relevant video, and I thought that you guys would enjoy it. So yeah, that's what we're gonna do today. Alright, so the very first product that I want to share with you is a small vacuum. And it actually took me a while to kind of narrow this down and find the best one. Obviously, when you live in an apartment, storage space is at a minimal. And so you can't have a big, like, honking, huge vacuum like you would in a normal sized house, because you're just not going to have anywhere to put it. Obviously, the smaller the vacuum, the less effective it is. So I wanted to find one that actually worked, but still was small. And I have used very crappy small vacuums before, but this one that I found, I would say arguably is the best vacuum for small apartments. And that is this one. This is the Bissell Featherweight. I got it on Amazon, and yeah, it just looks like this. You can see that it's very thin, very lightweight. It has this wraparound cord. What's cool about it is it has different attachments, so you can pull that off, and then you have, you know, like one of those shorter vacuums where you can use this to just get in, you know, spaces. This is a little hook that hooks onto the wire that makes it easier to store. It has these easy, like, detachable things here, so if you don't want this long handle, you can easily just take that off, and now you just have this little mini vacuum, which is great for like little spills, or to get into those kind of like, you know, hard to reach places, or like to go up here or whatever. This is really convenient. It also has one of these little attachments, which is really convenient, that you can stick into here. That way you can get inside your couch and just like all of the tiny little areas in, so that you can get like under, say, like dresser, underneath, like I use this to get like underneath like my oven and my kitchen cabinets and stuff, windowsills and everything. It's just really convenient. I use it every single Friday night when I'm done with work, before the weekend starts. The next thing is a mini steamer, and this is really convenient for if you are, instead of having like a giant ironing board and like a big iron and having space for that, because how often do you actually iron your clothes? Just having one of these, filling it up with water, plugging it in, and just quickly steaming your clothes is really convenient. I love this one too, not even for a small apartment, but say if you're traveling, you can just dump the water out. This is so light, and you could throw it in your suitcase and take it with you, because if your clothes are folded up in your suitcase for a long time, and then when you get to your location and you take stuff out and it's all wrinkled, you can really easily just quickly pull this out and problem solved. And then the third thing on the same note is a mini ironing board. So if you are someone who doesn't really like steaming and you want to iron, then you don't want to have a giant ironing board like you would in a regular house. You need the mini size. And so this one I have had since college. I wish I could show you, like, actually. Yeah, see, it's like this small. It's like very, very small. I have had this ironing board since college. It is amazing. and I have kept it because it has been that convenient. Certain clothes I feel like don't, like, you just can't really get the wrinkles out with the steamer, especially thicker things. Like, I have a pair of pants, like, I don't know, like these pants that just like are so thick and you could not steam those. So yes, miniature ironing board, so helpful, and it's very thin as well, so you can easily fit this under a bed. You could fit this in a closet, on top of things, underneath things, stacked on top of it. It's just super convenient and will make your life a whole lot easier. This one I found from TJ Maxx years ago, but I will link similar ones. I found so many ones that are even have cuter patterns than this, and yeah, you can find. So even if you're not someone who lives in a tiny apartment, if you're someone who's watching who's about to go off to college, get yourself one of these for your dorm room. The next product is a handheld washing machine. This especially applies to people who are in New York City or just tiny apartments in general. In New York, it is so hard to come by an apartment with a washer and a dryer in the unit. I pay so much for this apartment, guys, and I still don't have a washer and dryer. It's all the location. So most people are stuck lugging their stuff to a laundromat or a dry cleaners. That can just get really tiring. I used to always bring my stuff to a laundromat, and then when I moved here in New York, obviously it was during COVID, and I just wasn't very comfortable going there and coming back and walking up 5 flights of stairs and then going back and doing the whole thing. So I actually lugged my stuff all the way over to my boyfriend's apartment, and that's how I've been doing it for the last couple months. But like for other stuff like hand washing, etc., I use this, and technically you could do all of your laundry in this. A mini washing machine. So this one is pink. They also make a blue one. It's from Amazon, and you can see that it's like a compartment, and you basically, it's hard to show, but you basically, like, okay, so say if it's like it's sitting on the floor like this, you turn it with this handle. Well, you fill it with water and your clothes and some detergent, and you turn it for like 2 minutes, and then you stick this thing in here, which would be on the bottom, and you drain the water, and then you rinse it again, you know, turn it, drain it, wring it out, and then you hang your stuff to dry, and that actually makes it a lot easier. This is pretty big too, so it depends on how many like clothes you have and how often you want to wash, but like if you were really desperate, like you could do all of your laundry in this. And as far as storage goes, I've just been keeping mine in my shower, and then when I'm not using it, and then when I go to use my shower, I take it out and I just set it on the bathroom floor, and then I put it back in and I switch. But yeah, I find that it's like really convenient to have, especially if you're someone that's kind of like afraid of doing your laundry at the laundromat with everyone else's clothes in there. I totally get that. And yeah, so this would be a good solution for you. The next product is a space-saving product, and that is bed risers. Sounds very college-y when I say that, bed risers, but if you hide them, I have a bed skirt that hides them and you can't even tell, then it can look much more, I guess, sophisticated than you're actually in like an adult's apartment. And the reason is because if you're in a tiny apartment, storage space is going to be at a premium. And especially if you're in a studio and you know you would just have like one tiny closet, you will need space to put stuff. And I can't even tell you how much stuff I shove under my bed, and having bed risers doubles the amount of storage space that I could have under my bed, and it makes a huge difference. So I'm able to put like 2 suitcases under my bed. I have all of my filming equipment. I have 2 giant like clear bins with stuff in them, and so yeah, that's going to make your life a whole lot easier. It's just having all of that extra storage space. And you can get bed risers off of Amazon. The ones that I have are from Amazon. I found like cute white ones that go with my like bedding and everything, so they don't have to be horrible. And if you put a cute bed skirt around them, then that'll just like hide everything and it'll be fine. Sorry, there's like a loud car outside. I don't know if you guys can hear that in the background. The next thing, or the next tip, is to get storage that goes up rather than out. So it's so easy to just get storage that you think is like wide, but especially if you have tall ceilings, you can really utilize the space that you have going up. So for example, I have this really cute storage that I actually store all of my shoes in because this is like the girliest apartment ever. But yeah, and I find that having that space just takes up so much like space out of my closet, and it just really utilizes the space that I have. And sometimes we don't always think about like all of this space up here is space to store things, but I mean, it really can be. The one that I have is the Billy bookcase from IKEA, so it was like really affordable. I just put it together. I hammered it myself when I moved in, and it has been a lifesaver. Like I said, I use it for storing my shoes, but if you got not a clear case and you wanted to use it for storing anything else, it's like this wide, so you can easily fit that in like anywhere in your apartment, and you get so much storage going up, so it's like amazing. I also have in my bathroom this like long and skinny storage, kind of like a rolling plastic storage that I put all of my brushes in, like my straightener, blow dryer, curling iron, and then all of my styling products in. And I've also had that since college, and I've brought it to every apartment with me since, and it always fits everywhere because it's like skinny and long. You can always find a space to put that. That was my mom who got that for me before I went to college. She was so smart, and I have used it so much ever since. It's not just been for hair products, but I've also just like, I think I put like crafts in it once, or just like random like bits and bobs that I needed for things. And yeah, and it rolls too, which is really convenient and easy to move with as well. So like, especially if you're in your 20s and you're only going to be in one apartment for a couple years and then another apartment for another couple years, and you're moving around a lot, all you have to do is just tape up the sides, and it's plastic. So like, if it gets banged around, it's not really a big deal. You can easily like wash it off, and yeah, super convenient. All right, and then the last thing is an AC unit. And this was something that I like denied that I needed, because I don't like AC. I was like, I don't want to be freezing. Like, I'm so much more of like open the windows and like have fans on type of person. It gets so hot here in New York, like disgustingly hot. That's why I think people leave the city so much in the summertime, to just get out of the city, because it's like the buildings and the pavement and the sidewalks and the people and everything just like locks heat in, and is just disgusting. It's like almost 90 degrees every day in the summer here, and you could not survive in an apartment without AC. Even in this apartment, like even when I do have AC on full blast, it's still really hot in here, and sometimes it gets hard to sleep at night. And yeah, and like I said, I pay buku bucks for this apartment, and I still don't have central air. So unless you're like, I don't know, just like somehow you have an apartment with central air in it, then you don't have to worry about this. I mean, it's definitely also possible as well. I know plenty of people that do have central air, but if you don't, then you're gonna need an AC unit. And I was like, I felt like it was one of those like techie kind of, like not techie, but just kind of like one of those things that I was like, I don't know what type of AC I'm supposed to get. Like, how do I know if it fits in my window, and how do I put it in? Is it gonna fall down? Like, I was just so kind of like not sure what to do. And so so one of my roommates got an AC unit, and then the other one got an AC unit, and I ended up buying the same exact one as them without knowing, on Amazon. I guess this is just like a really popular AC unit. And yeah, usually you can get your landlord or your super to put it in the window for you. Actually, some buildings even require that you do that, because it's very possible that it could just get really dangerous if you're trying to put it in yourself, and like it I don't like, whatever, it could fall down, and like, I don't know, you guys have seen in movies and stuff, like if somebody's walking, that would just not be good, and that is the most terrifying thing to me. So like, yeah, just get like an expert to put it in for you, or you can look up, if you really want and you feel safe, obviously like look it up on YouTube of like how to do it, but just don't do it alone. Anyways, yes, a small AC unit is going to be a lifesaver in New York City or in the summertime. Highly recommend. So that is it. Those are my top 7 products that every girl needs in their tiny New York City apartment. Obviously, there will be so many more that I will come up with as I am living here, and I will for sure share them with you guys on my channel. I've been doing vlogs every Monday and then also doing an extra video like this on Thursdays, and I will just continue to share more about, like, you know, tiny apartment life, New York City life, studio life. And yeah, I can't wait to share more with you guys as I continue with all of this. But yes, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, and check out the fashion squirrel. And hopefully I will see you guys next time. Okay, bye.